beneath the golden castle where moonlight met dawn. The echoes of magic still shimmered in the air, faint whispers of the moonflower's song and the lingering warmth of sunlight in Rapunzel's hair. It had been days since the battle in the enchanted forest, and though the kingdom rejoiced, Rapunzel's heart remained restless. She spent sleepless nights in the royal library, tracing her fingers over the ancient mural of the twin flowers, her golden and silver hair glowing faintly in the candlelight. One night, as the moon reached its highest peak, she noticed something strange, a faint shimmer at the base of the mural, as if the wall itself breathed with light. And so, dear dreamers, before we follow Rapunzel into this next journey of mystery, courage, and wonder, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell icon. For tonight, we descend deeper into the magic, where shadows bloom and secrets shine beneath the stars. Rapunzel pressed her palm against the wall, and a pulse of light rippled outward. The stone trembled and slowly unfolded like petals, revealing a secret passage, spiraling downward into darkness that glittered faintly like scattered stardust. Flynn entered quietly behind her, lantern in hand, his expression both awed and cautious. "Are you sure about this?" he whispered. Rapunzel smiled softly, the glimmer of adventure in her eyes. "If the flowers have a twin, maybe so does the world above," she murmured, stepping into the passage as golden light from her hair illuminated the descending path. The air grew cooler, filled with the scent of something ancient, a fragrance like moonlit blossoms and forgotten dreams. The deeper they went, the louder the hum of magic became, until they emerged into a vast underground expanse unlike anything they had ever seen. Before them stretched the Starlit Garden, a world of luminous flora and crystal trees, their branches glowing softly with threads of silver and violet light. Streams of liquid starlight flowed between the roots, and above, the ceiling shimmered with constellations that mirrored the night sky. Rapunzel gasped, her eyes wide. "It's beautiful," she whispered. Flynn took a step forward, touching one of the glowing vines that curled around an arch of stone. "It feels alive," he said, and it was. The garden pulsed like a living heart, each beat resonating with the same magic that flowed through Rapunzel's hair. As they ventured deeper, the sound of soft chimes echoed through the air, as though the flowers themselves were singing. Yet beneath the beauty, there was something haunting, a faint shadow that rippled through the light, unseen but felt, like a secret waiting to awaken. At the garden's center stood a massive tree made entirely of crystal, its trunk shimmering with silver veins and golden roots. At its base bloomed hundreds of radiant flowers, each one shaped like a tiny star. Rapunzel approached it slowly, kneeling beside one of the blossoms. The sunflower and moonflower brought balance. "What is this one?" she wondered aloud. Before Flynn could answer, a soft voice filled the chamber, melodic and ethereal. "It is the star bloom," said the voice, born of both light and darkness, a guardian of what lies between. Rapunzel turned sharply, scanning the glowing mist until a figure emerged, an apparition of light shaped like a young woman with eyes of silver and hair that glimmered like falling stars. "Who are you?" Rapunzel asked softly. "I am the echo of Lumina," the figure said. "Once, I tended this garden when it connected your world to the heavens, but when the flowers were separated, the bridge fell into shadow." The spirit extended her hand, and the crystal tree pulsed with light. "You have reawakened what was lost, child of sun and moon," Lumina continued, her tone both warm and sorrowful. "But with every light reborn, a shadow rises to meet it. Beneath this garden lies the root of all darkness, the shadow seed. It waits, watching, remembering." Flynn instinctively stepped closer to Rapunzel, his voice low. "That doesn't sound like something we should be near." Lumina's gaze softened. "You cannot avoid it forever. The balance demands it be faced." Then, as quickly as she appeared, the spirit faded, leaving behind a faint trail of light that drifted toward the tree's roots. Rapunzel stood in silence, her heart heavy with both awe and fear. She touched one of the glowing petals, and a vision flooded her mind, an image of the sunflower, the moonflower, and a third flower, the star bloom, all bound together by threads of light. Around them, shadow swirled, trying to break free. She gasped and stumbled back, Flynn catching her just in time. "What did you see?" he asked. Something ancient," she whispered. "The flowers aren't just connected, they're protecting something powerful." They followed the trail of light deeper beneath the tree, where roots twisted into a natural tunnel glowing faintly with gold and silver threads. The deeper they went, the more the light dimmed, replaced by faint shadows that seemed to breathe. Soon, they reached a wide underground lake reflecting the stars above like a mirror. In the center, a dark mass pulsed faintly beneath the water, the shadow seed. It looked like a black crystal flower, its petals closed tightly, seeping faint wisps of violet mist. Rapunzel stepped closer, drawn by an invisible pull. "Rapunzel, wait," Flynn said, but she was already kneeling at the water's edge, her reflection glowing gold and silver while the dark crystal pulsed beneath. "It's calling to me," she whispered. Suddenly, the lake erupted with movement, shadows burst forth, swirling into the shape of dark vines reaching for her. Flynn grabbed her arm, pulling her back as one vine lashed out and struck the lantern, shattering it into sparks. Run, he shouted. And together they raced back through the tunnel as the garden around them began to flicker between light and shadow. When they finally reached the crystal tree again, Lumina's voice echoed faintly through the trembling air. The shadow seed has awakened. Its hunger cannot be stopped by fear. You must face it, or it will consume the light. Rapunzel looked around desperately as cracks began to spread through the glowing walls. How do I stop something born of darkness? She cried out. By understanding it, Lumina's voice replied faintly, fading with the sound of shattering crystal. The next moment, the ground gave way beneath Rapunzel and Flynn, and they fell into darkness. They awoke in a cavern below the garden, where glowing crystals cast faint blue light across a strange sight, ancient carvings depicting Rapunzel herself, her golden hair woven with silver strands, standing before a shadowed mirror. This was all written, Flynn whispered, tracing the carvings. It's like they knew you'd come. Rapunzel touched the image, and the mirror in the carving shimmered, forming a real mirror before them, its surface rippling like water. From within, a faint figure appeared, her own reflection, but darker, eyes like twin stars swallowed by shadow. You are me, Rapunzel whispered. I am what you hide, the reflection replied, her voice echoing softly. Your doubt, your fear, your longing for freedom, every shadow you cast becomes part of me. The reflection extended her hand, and the mirror's surface rippled again. Rapunzel hesitated, then reached out, and the moment her fingers touched the mirror, the reflection smiled and vanished, leaving behind a faint mark on Rapunzel's palm that glowed silver and gold. What just happened? Flynn asked, his voice shaking slightly. I accepted it, Rapunzel whispered. The darkness inside me. Maybe that's what the prophecy meant, not to destroy it, but to balance it. As she spoke, the cavern trembled again, and beams of starlight shot through the cracks above, filling the space with radiant light. The crystal tree above began to glow once more, purging the garden of shadow. When they finally emerged back into the starlit garden, the flowers shimmered brighter than ever. The shadow seed, now purified, bloomed into a dark blue flower that glowed softly beside the golden and silver blossoms, the third and final piece of the prophecy fulfilled. Lumina appeared once more, smiling gently. You have done what none before could. You faced your shadow and brought balance to the garden. But remember, the stars above are not silent, their song will call again. Rapunzel bowed her head, gratitude and peace in her heart. Then I'll listen, she said softly. Always. Together, Rapunzel and Flynn climbed back to the surface, where dawn had just begun to break. As the first rays of sunlight spilled over the castle, Rapunzel looked down at her palm, where the silver gold mark still glowed faintly. Flynn smiled beside her. So, what now? He asked. She turned toward the horizon, eyes bright with determination. Now, she said, we follow the stars. And as the light of morning met the fading moon, the castle shimmered as if touched by both day and night, a symbol of balance, courage, and love everlasting. And so, dear dreamers, as another chapter in Rapunzel's story closes beneath the light of the starlit garden, remember to like, share, and subscribe so you can follow her journey in every magical episode. Let your heart shine bright, your dreams stay brave, and never forget, even in darkness, the light of your spirit will always find its way home.